Let's consider the first story now of Mary Magdalene. What does he do with Mary? So Mary comes to the tomb that first Easter morning, and she stoops down and she looks in, and Jesus isn't there. Again, she knows, just like you know, that dead people stay dead. Sorry, what did I do here? And what she does is she weeps, because what she's thinking is dead people are dead, and Jesus' body, which I came to care for, isn't here. This body that even though he is dead, I still care about and want to tend to. And so she's weeping and she's crying bitterly at the loss of her dear friend and whatever has happened. And again, I imagine that if you think about this, you can put yourself in Mary's place. I would guarantee that you've had places or times of deep loss. Loss that's overwhelming. A loss of a home or a husband, children, maybe just your dignity or a marriage, or, there's so many losses that we could list that the sorrow has just overwhelmed us, and we just weep and we weep. And I sort of want you to sit there, because tears and weeping seem to have their own timetable. You know that, right? You just can't stop whenever you want to. Like, sorrow doesn't just go away. It can't really be rushed. And then she wonders to this angel that's there, where have they taken my Lord? A supernatural being, and she's still utterly full of sorrow. Her dreams and her life have changed and been crushed. And she's weeping and she's wondering, because she knows dead people stay dead. And it's in that time, actually, this is a really beautiful detail that I hope you can hear, is that the angel doesn't respond to her. The angel doesn't come to her. Instead, who comes to her? Jesus comes to her. She's wondering to somebody else, and yet Jesus shows up. He says, it says that it seems as though he's still far off. And Jesus says to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you seeking?" Says, supposing him to be the gardener, she says to him, "Sir, if you've carried him away, tell me where you've laid him, and I will take him away." She's utterly convinced that death is the end, because dead people have always stayed dead. And the turn happens when Jesus himself speaks her name, which is to say, he sees exactly where she is, who she is, what she's gone through, what tears she's wept, all of it. He sees all of the reasons why she would believe that resurrection doesn't happen, there's no hope in this world, your greatest losses have come about. He sees all of it. And the turn happens in her when he speaks her name. Mary. I'm telling you, the same thing happens today. It does. The change happens when Jesus says, David, Peter, Conrad. That's when the turn happens. When you know that the resurrection isn't just some far off, distant thing, but it affects you today, now. It changes your life today, now. It gives you hope in the midst of your overwhelming sorrow. It overcomes your deepest fears. It changes your long-held doubts. These are the things that we see in the resurrection accounts. Easter happens, but what we see here is Easter makes something of them. For countless people the world over and throughout time. And I want you to think of some of these people. Alice Cooper, Antony Flew, Salvador Dali, C.S. Lewis, James Choi, Chuck Colson, Francis Collins, who used to be the director of the National Institute of Health and who did the Human Genome Project. Countless people throughout history have come face to face with the reality of the resurrection, have had Jesus call out their name, and it has entirely changed their life. And I want you to think today, what does Easter make of you?